love and justice and inequality. Ancestors changed the world, and though they came in chains, and you the strength and hope.
Rise and live, you guys.
You're mighty and majestic, descendants of kings and queens. Royal blood flows through your veins, children of the dream. So hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. Keep reaching for the sky. No matter what, I know you can sing it. No matter what, you're royalty. Royalty. We got a message from above. You ain't no thug. You're royalty. Whether you're a king, sister, you're a queen. Children of the dream. If you've never been told, time for you to know you're royalty. Said you're royalty. Every day and every hour, stand up tall with pride and power. No matter what people say about you, we never lie. Never ever doubt you. Keep pushing, give it all you got. Don't stop till you reach the top. So hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. Keep reaching for the sky. No matter what, know you can take it. No doubt about it. You know I'm gonna make it yours. You're royalty. Oh yes you are. Got a message from above. You ain't no thug. You're royalty. Brother, you're a king. Sister, you're a queen. Children of the dream. If you've never been told, time for you to know you're royalty. You're beautiful. Beautiful. So beautiful. We got a message from above. You ain't no thug. You're royalty. And you're marvelous. Marvelous. So powerful. If you've never been told, time for you to know you're royalty. Royalty. We got a message for you. We got a message from above. You ain't no thug. You're royalty. My brother. Brother, you're a king. Sister, you're a queen. Children of the dream. If you've never been told, time for you to know you're royalty.
King Kuta, here for you and I. Got this message, I'm spreading the most high. Head high, I shine like my father's smile. Down upon my kings and queens of all time. Blessed, better color, original king ruler. Slave that made a way metaphorically. King Kuta, eyes on prize, my pride won't collide. Am I right in your eyes if I stand on mine?
You are royalty. We got a message from above. You ain't no thug. You're royalty. Brother, you're a king. Sister, you're a queen. Children of the dream. If you've never been told, time for you to know you're royalty. If you've never been told, time for you to know you're royalty. You're royalty. If you've never been told, time for you to know you're royalty. If you've never been told, time for you to know you're royalty. Yes, you are.
You're like, hold on. What bill has you paid? You know, what have you done for me lately for you to feel like you're entitled to anything, around here, So today's topic is about, let's chat about entitlement, because oftentimes people have a sense of entitlement and they haven't even put their hand to the plow. They haven't planted no seeds. They haven't done anything that is worthy of, having access to you or what you have to offer. So I'm sure I am not the only one who've experienced somebody somewhere, someplace, feeling like they were entitled to something that belonged to you. And the thing about it is, I was having a conversation and I didn't know exactly what I was going to do this live about. Sometimes I go with the flow. So sometimes I have free flow, rising lives. But I was like, oh, no. I like this word entitlement, because you find that people have had entitlement to you and what you have for a long time. I've found that, for example, I have four boys, and my sons, and two girls, because Hannah Banana, she does it too. But just because, I might have money, my sons feel like they're entitled to what I have to offer, or what I have, the money that I'm making, or knowing what I'm making, just because, I'm their mother. Absolutely not. You don't have the right to know how much is in my bank account and what I'm making and how much I'm making. And, no. You don't have a right unless I let you in on that. And so oftentimes, we have people walking around in situations, or we're in situationships, and we have people who we've gone out with. This goes for the guys and girls who we've gone out with, who have a sense of entitlement of, being in your personal space, because maybe, they spent a little bit of money on you here, or you spent a little money on me there. But I'm like, first of all, you don't have no point of entitlement at all. You didn't put a ring on it. Hey, Shay, you didn't put a ring on it. So you're not entitled to anything over here. You get what I'm saying? And so I could use so many scenarios of people feeling like they're entitled to your stuff. I mean, the enemy already feels like he has a sense of entitlement, especially when you I don't even know. What's a good example? He feel like he wants you to be on his team, but then he still can't stand you once he got you. That's terrible. And that's how some people are. They'll use you all up, feel entitled to what's yours, and then you all broken down and you can't function from day to day because you ain't realized that this person was sapping up your energy, your strength, your time, and whatever else you felt like you had to offer. And so we as people, we got to understand that what's ours is ours. I'm telling you, we talking about entitlement. What you think about entitlement? Have you ever had somebody that felt like they was entitled to your stuff? Hold on, I don't owe you anything. I don't know why you even feel that way. No. You got some people who walk around like they God's gift from earth, and you like, Lord Jesus, not today. Not today. But they have a sense of entitlement. I was talking to somebody, I was getting to know somebody rather, and this has been a little bit of a while ago. And this person was married. And they were married to their significant other for a certain amount of years, but it actually was a very extensive amount of time. And so they eventually, got a divorce over time. They were actually together more years than what the years were of them being divorced. But, they did have children together. But for some reason, the significant other still felt like, they were entitled to maybe be intimate with this person. They felt like, because of, we were married for all of these years, you owe me this, or, you got to do because you're my child's mother or you're my child's father. But when you sever that tie, in a sense of being married to that person, you no longer had the same access that you had before we severed the tie. And people oftentimes confuse, hey, I understand. Yes, we were in a relationship. Yes, we were in a marriage. Yes, we have kids. But there is a line drawn. We're no longer married now. Our children are getting older. So that means I don't have to technically do certain things. Or you don't have access to the money that I get now. You don't. It's just so much. And people would even send up and do guilt trips, because they want you to feel bad about, them wanting to have access to what's yours. And you hold on, no, you had your turn on your chance, boundaries. Absolutely. Shay says, of course, the way I handle them today is blocked. Absolutely. Absolutely. Block social media, text message, phone calls, block, 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 block. Pretty much. That goes for friends, family, and whoever else, everybody. Absolutely. There are boundaries that need to be drawn, and some people don't know how to draw the line. And I can honestly say, I had to go through certain things, some things, before I realized, like, hey, no, like, I'm not, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Like, I'm not about to, no. And so, but I had to experience certain things for me to be like, no. How the people say, when you're tired, you'll know. You'll stop going back, or you'll stop doing this, or you'll stop letting people get away with murder, or you'll stop letting them have access to something. Like, for example, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? No, why are you giving that person access to what's yours in your personal space and what you got to offer? And they're like, well, even if this don't work out, we're still going to be, I'm still going to be intimate with you even if we're not in a relationship. Like, why do you feel like you're entitled to do that? I mean, that goes across to, like, baby fathers and baby mothers and all that. That's why you got to be married, when you're going to do all of that stuff, because that's a whole situation within itself. But, like, honestly, like, I was like, man, I said, people really do be feeling entitled. You got family who be feeling like they entitled. Like, I don't mean you no harm. I used to be like, you know what? I cannot, like, I understand family. I love family, but family will feel like you owe them something, and you be like, but this is my business, though. This is my job. Like, I don't have to give you nothing for free, technically, unless I decide. You see what I'm saying? Unless I decide I want to do that. Like, if I decide that I want to do that, that means that I'll do that. It's not saying that, I'm not going to accommodate you in some way. And guess what? Technically, I don't have to accommodate you if this is how I make money. Do your boss accommodate you? Or do you accommodate your boss and let them say, hey, you don't have to pay me my full paycheck this week. You can just give me a portion. Who would say that to a boss when they know they need money? Like, no, absolutely not. So you have people that are entitled to so many things, and you be like, no. Yes, I said you be like, no. Because when you give somebody, sometimes when you give a person an inch, they will take a whole yard, not even a mile. They would take a whole yard and a mile. They could take a couple yards and some miles and some other stuff. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. And so I had to get to a place and grow to a place, because I can honestly say sometimes as a nice person, people can use your kindness for weakness, and that's why they feel entitled, because they don't think that you're going to say anything, or they don't think that you're going to do anything, or they don't think that you caught wind of how they're trying to maneuver, because that reverse psychology stuff is real. And whether people think that is prevalent today or not, it still takes place on so many levels, in so many different situations, not just a man and a female, a male and a female relationship. And so, as far as that feeling bad because I don't want you to partake in what's mine, because it's mine. No, you got to come up out of that. This is mine. And I will share if I am prompted to, if I am led to. I will give if I am led to. I'm not going to give of myself to anybody who's not deserving of that. Like, and sometimes that also comes with that. Not sometimes, oftentimes that comes with valuing you. You have to value yourself enough to say, hey, I'm not going to tolerate or put up with certain things from certain people in certain situations, especially if you haven't planted any seeds into me, especially if you haven't given them to me. And I'm not saying that in order to give somebody access to something that belongs to you, that they have to technically do something. I'm not saying that, that has to be the case all the time. But I would urge you, as well as myself, to ask God for a keen sense of discernment, to know who's who, to know when to and when not to have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to move properly and effectively in the time that you're supposed to move. Because there's nothing like moving out of whack when that person don't deserve it, and then they keep coming to you. It's like a little cat. You feed a cat one time, a little kitten one time, they gonna keep coming to your doorstep. They're gonna keep coming just because you gave them that little opportunity. Perfect day for a park stroll. Let me know when you're there. Yes, you ain't lying. I would love to go for a park stroll. Look, I got the stroller and I got the little thing that you wrap around, the harness that you wrap around your body. So, I wanted to go get my nails done or whatever, but I'm gonna call you after this live. But yes, I do want you guys to just notice people once you start telling them no, because guess what? People cannot be entitled to your stuff unless you give them permission to have that sense of entitlement. And I don't mean you no harm. In this season of my life, in this day and time of my life, I am sweet as pie. I am very nice. I try to be anyway, and I try to be humble as well. But I won't be taken advantage of. I've experienced that in my life. I've experienced enough of that to say, hey, no. That ain't gonna work. We not doing that. And I have to be like that for the sake of my children. And I also have to be like that for the sake of myself. Because I do believe, for example, that Crown Up is going to go places. I do believe that Danny Royal is going to have speaking engagements that are going to take her all across the nation. And I'm going to be able to tell my story. I do believe these things. But even in that, I have to be able to know when to and when not to. I have to know, what to give and what not to give, because people will take that on and they be like, well, if you did that for so-and-so such and such, then you could do that for me. Or if you said that for so-and-so such and such, then you could. So it's like, no, we're not doing that. But I want you guys to stay focused on that spirit of discernment. And I need y'all to understand when to and when not to. And you don't owe anybody anything. You don't have to give them anything that you don't want to give. Guess what? If the Lord ain't lead you to, if he didn't lead you to give, or he didn't lead you to do something, technically, you don't have to do it. So if he doesn't lead me to do something, or he doesn't lead me to give, or whatever the case might be, I probably ain't going to be doing it, because I have been taken advantage of, and I have been in situations where people felt like I owe them something, Yeah, I don't owe you anything. You don't, and then guess what? It go both ways. You don't owe me anything either. You don't owe me anything. You don't have to do anything for me. Tell me anything. Tell me what about what. You don't have to. It's a choice. It's totally up to you. But at the end of the day, just understand that you have options. You don't have to be forced or swindled into allowing somebody to come into your personal space and take over something that they didn't even put their hand to the plow to, or they didn't even put a seed and sow to, or sow into, or so for. They haven't done any of that work. They haven't done the back work, but they want the pleasures forevermore. No, we're not doing that, So stay focused and stay watchful for them people, because those people do exist and they are out there, and we don't have time for that. No. Not in this season, because where I'm going is so much bigger than where I've been. I'm just saying, over here in these parts, we crown up over here. And I'm not doing anything less than that. I'm going to be crowning up. My children going to be crowning up. And anybody connected to me is going to be crowning up. And if they can't crown up, then I can't have that in my energy and in my space, because, I don't need somebody, that I'm familiar with feeling like I owe them or I need them for whatever. No. God will send the necessary things that I need to have to get to where I need to go. And he will send the necessary people that I need who will see the vision and work it the way that, it need to be. And then he will send me the spouse who's going to pour into me, be a blessing instead of take more from me. Yeah, we're not doing that. So, and I'm throwing these scenarios out there because this happens on so many different levels, from so many different stances, point of views, and from so many different relationships. And you can't box yourself in, because, people feeling entitled to your stuff can happen in all ways. And remember, unless it's an agreed thing, you don't owe anybody anything. And and understand that they don't owe you anything either. But guess what? We will have an understanding. That's what we will have. Okay? But I love you guys so much. Don't forget to crown up, share this video, and if it resonated with anything pertaining to your life from a day-to-day basis, in which I know it do, because I know people be feeling entitled all the time, and especially family and friends do it too. Friends do it. I'm not even gonna lie. But I love you guys. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what the topic's going to be about tomorrow, but I'm sure it's going to be something dope. I'm going to probably like do some research, expound on some stuff a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I still got to do my other videos, but stay tuned, you guys. I'm trying to make some moves for Crown Up, and I'm trying to do some stuff, and I want, I'm trying to build up a core people who are willing to follow the movement. And the thing about it is, yes, it may take time. I've had so many people come to me and ask me, like, why do you do stuff? Hey, Sky, why do you do what you do, or why do you pour out into people, or why do you speak and expound on certain things and not get paid? And it's people out here getting paid for what it is you're doing for free. And I told them simply, just because it don't seem like it's paying off from the other side, I promise you, God is working things out behind the scenes that you don't even know, and you don't even understand. And I told him, I said, when I do what I love, what I love is going to work for me. I'm going to be able to work smart and not hard. And I need people to understand that sometimes you have to put the work in. You got to put your time, energy, and effort in, and you got to be consistent. So consistency is key. When you're trying to get somewhere, when you're trying to, get out there. And it's not always what you know. It's sometimes it's who you know. And I also want to give a shout out to hold on. I want to give a shout out to one of my friends on here. Oh my gosh, he's my Facebook friend, and he has two. I think it's the Hutz twins. I'm messing up, but he's my Facebook friend, and I met him, and the boys are doing really, really good. They have their own page and their own following and different things like that. And he literally has been so sweet because he's like, hey, I'm gonna share one of your videos to the boys page, and I'm gonna put you out there, from my perspective and point of view. And I can appreciate that, because that video that in which he shared reached up to 7,000 and some change views. And I was like, Lord, I can appreciate that, because even though I'm starting off small, and even though, it might not seem like anybody is watching, people are watching, and people are waiting for something that resonates with them. They're waiting for an opportunity. They might be waiting for the world to open up, or whatever the case might be. But I promise you, nothing that you do that God has given you will go unnoticed, and will go it won't go under. It just won't, and so, yeah, it might seem like it's taking longer, but guess what? It's an honest way to express myself, and it's an honest way to encourage people, and it's an honest way to be able to, pour out to somebody, something that people have died from, because everybody's story is different, and everybody did not come out the same way that I have. Some people have lost their mind through the process. Some people, have lost their energy. Some people have lost their momentum. And so where some people have lost out and some people have lost, some people are gaining too. And so I can appreciate the fact that God has allowed me to be one of the people to gain, and I've been able to grow from some of the things that I've experienced. It didn't feel good through the process, no, but I can appreciate this journey, and this journey is not about my beginning, and it's not really about my ending. It's really about, the middle, because what happens in the middle plays a huge part as to what my ending will look like. So I love you guys so much. Stay tuned, Thank you so much for watching Crown Up Nation. And don't forget to share this video. And once you share this video, put your crowns up. I like the crown up emojis, because we got to rock royal, everywhere we go. Okay? I love you guys so much. See you in the see you. Have a blessed day. Peace.